Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to a new surprise playthrough for the channel, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Since the most recent DLC, Fate of Atlantis came out today for the game, I think that'd be a good time to do a full playthrough of the game and kind of see the full game. Well, actually, there's still one more DLC, I think, but pretty much see the full game as it is now, and also kind of give people an idea of whether or not they kind of want to jump into Assassin's Creed Odyssey now. So let's not waste any time and jump on into it. And one thing I will say, I will be I'm going to be editing out any egregious loading screens, because especially like this one at the beginning, it could get pretty egregious, I would say. So I'll see you guys after it loads. Oh man, that was like 30 seconds of loading right there. Oh man, I'm glad I edited that out.
We are ready, my king.
Tell me, Leonidas, have you ever gone fishing with your son?
No, never. A soldier's life is all I've had the honor to know.
I would have liked to have gone fishing with my son. But now, let us meet our fate, shall we? Spartans! Every breath that you have taken has led you to this moment. Every drop of blood, sweat, and tear, all of it has led to where you stand right now. The Persians come to make slaves of us all. I have a better idea. I say we drench the gods with their blood! What say you, Spartans? For our sons! For our daughters! For Sparta!
Okay then, now how about we get into the game. So, this is basically the intro sequence of the game. I always love that. When he throws his shield, it's like he's Captain America. I would say Captain Attica, but technically that's where Athens is, and that's pretty opposite. But anyway, so this is the intro sequence of the game. Basically, it helps you get acquainted with the controls, even though there will be another tutorial sequence to get you acquainted with the controls. But let's not focus on those details. But anyway, so one thing I am excited for is, so you press R1 to attack. But anyway, one thing I'm excited for is, so I'm a major history buff, like I love history so much. So to kind of bolster, this playthrough, I'm also going to be giving like historical facts that are related. And so we might as well get started with that. Oh, and by the way, you press L1 and then X to use, well, technically to use any of your abilities. When you actually play the game, it's not necessarily going to be Bull Rush. But when you use an ability, it can consume, like, basically that yellow bar at the bottom there. So, you know, you want to keep that in mind. I won't show off the other abilities just yet, just because I'm going to wait till they're a bit more relevant. But yeah, so what you want to do here is take care of a captain specifically. And after you take after a few more captains, then the game will actually progress. Sometimes this could last a bit long, but it could go fast as well. When an enemy is glowing red like that, that means they are in an attack phase that they're invincible in. And you have to get out of the way because it will generally knock you down. And you don't have to worry if you're in the middle of like a kill animation with an enemy, because you'll get invincibility frames. But anyway, let's get on with that history. So, who are we controlling? Well, as you already saw from like subtitles, we are in control of Leonidas. He was he was a warrior king of Sparta, and hey, get over here. Anyway, he was a warrior king of Sparta, and one of his most, I guess, glorious known facts is his association with defeating King Xerxes in the second Persian invasion of Greece. Basically, so there was a first invasion of Greece, obviously, and so, and after you defeat the kings, you should run up over here because it'll take too long otherwise. Anyway, so he led Greek forces against the Persians in the second Persian invasion of Greece. Basically, Persia, the Persian Empire, which is based in Asia, wanted to take control of all of Greece. And so it was actually a pretty devastating defeat for the Persians because afterwards they were completely expelled from the European continent. And they also lost control of all the islands in the Aegean Sea. So here we are, we're fighting Kurush, who, as far as I know, isn't like an actual real character in history. Funny thing, actually, if you look up who Kurush is, you see he's actually, okay, not him. There's actually a town in Russia called Kurush, which is kind of funny. But actually, to be more specific, it's a town in a small place called Dagestan. Dagestan's it's technically not a country, but I guess it's, I think at this moment it's still a place that's fighting for independence, in some cases literally. But yeah, so that's Kurush. So with King Xerxes, he tried to invade Greece a second time, and so these were some of the biggest battles that forced the Persians to be lost. Another important fact was Xerxes' navy was also defeated around the same time as this battle's taking place.
We are betrayed, my king. Xerxes knows of the path behind the mountain. They are coming.
By dawn, you will be completely surrounded.
We are Spartans. When are we not?
Spartans. That word will mean nothing when Xerxes wipes your bloodline from the face of it.
Today was a day the Persians will never forget. Tomorrow is a day the world will remember.
Finally.
Wow, this is big, Layla. Did you really think it's the spear?
This is the one. The book was almost right on top of it. I've never been so lucky in my life. Okay, let's start her up.
Are you sure we can trust this thing? I mean, the book could be...
Just started, Victoria.
You're the boss, boss. I'll prep it for you.
Okay, so worth noting, I've made some changes since you were last in here.
There's no keeping up with the tech industry these days.
I can crank up the simulation to maximum sensory synchronization if you're up for it.
That's just fancy talk for difficulty level, so easy, normal, hard, nightmare. We're gonna just keep it at normal.
Let's take this one step at a time.
Understood. If you're looking for something a little more intense, I can always adjust the settings for you later. This bit will let me know how much information will be fed to you during your time in the Animus.
Okay, so guided mode is basically traditional Assassin's Creed. You get a quest and the marker's already put on your map. Exploration mode is basically they describe where your location, they describe where you need to go is, but you need to figure it out for yourself. So they'll give you like south of this province and you have to look on the map and all that. I played it this way. It's fine. I wouldn't really say you're losing out by not having it. Like, it's not, like, it says this is the way it's meant to be experienced. It really isn't. Like, it's not that pivotal. So we're gonna just go with guided.
Give me as much information as you got. There's no way I'm going in there without some guidance.
Glad to help. You can always change your mind later. Listen, Layla, before you go off...
If this book is right, this spear, this story, it will change everything.
You're putting a lot of faith in a fairly unreliable source. Historian or not, this guy wrote about magical objects and the will of the gods.
He's not Homer. Herodotus was the first recorded historian, so there's a lot more truth in that text than you think. I mean, what better way is there of finding Isu artifacts than by trusting in the guy who claimed to meet an actual descendant?
I know, but...
I need you to trust me. You could be right. This spear, this book, it could all be crap. But something tells me it isn't, and I'm certainly not gonna let Abstergo find out first.
You're right. We haven't got much to lose anyway. There's just one small problem.
What is it?
This manuscript is in rough condition, to say the least. The DNA found on the spear has identified 2 different individuals. You're going to have to pick which strand of DNA to pursue. The choice is yours.
You know, I like here. So basically, what she's saying is you basically choose between the male character Alexios and the female character Cassandra. And it's kind of a weird thing to compliment, but I like how they justify there being 2 gender characters. Because, you know, generally, games just have, like, you know, pick your gender and that's that. But, like, here they actually have, like, a, I guess, in-house reason why there's 2 different gender options. But, I've always played as Alexios, so for the first time, I'm going to be playing as Cassandra. Or, oops, gotta hold.
She'll help us find what we're looking for. I have a good feeling about this. The start of Peloponnesian War.
Good luck in there. No pressure or anything, but we're all depending on you.
Abstergo isn't gonna win this time. If what the book says is true and we do actually find the artifact, the assassins will finally have a chance to rise again.
You can do it!
Oh, and Victoria? Read the book. It holds the secrets I won't be able to find on my own when I'm in there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay, back to some history facts. So, at the end of that cutscene, one of Leonidas' men said that the Persians found, like, the secret pass, and then, like, Leonidas was like, we're gonna go meet him. I believe he's referring to the Battle of Thermopylae, I believe is how it's pronounced. So basically, the Battle of Thermopylae was one of the more iconic fights of the Second Persian invasion of Greece, because it was basically the Greeks had to defend a pass from the Persians, and it was definitely a uphill battle because modern estimates say that the Greeks numbered in like a few thousand, like not even 10,000, whereas the Persians numbered in 100,000s. So it was definitely like a fight that shows, I guess, what patriotism can get you. Though it's kind of funny because if you look at actual old texts from the time, they say that the Persians numbered in the millions. But if you know anything about history, historians fudge facts a lot. Like, they'll say they really want to, like, you know, skew facts in the favor of their side.
Hey! Shitface! Get down here! Cyclops got a message for you.
Tell your boss he can stick it.
That's for last week!
Malaka!
What?
The Cyclops said you like to act tough, so act tough!
Get a little closer, and I will.
Okay, yeah, so if you hold L1 and R1 and get attacked, you will deflect the attack, as long as the attack's not in red, because you can't parry those. But, you can parry him, and then if you hit your opponent again, you'll knock him back. Something pretty important to keep in mind, because you don't have shields in this game.
Last week? This shit happens every week. I can't keep doing this. Nah. Thanks for the warning. Ugh.
What happened to you?
It's nothing, Phoebe. All taken care of now.
The Cyclops again, huh? Hasn't he learned his lesson yet?
Apparently not. Of course. Help yourself.
You hungry too, Icarus? Do you think Zeus would bless me with an ego like he blessed you, Cassandra? Maybe you could ask him for me.
I'll try to put in a good word for you.
Finally.
So, what are you doing here?
Oh, I almost forgot. Marcos is looking for you.
What does that weasel want now?
Don't know. He wants you to meet him at his new house. On his vineyard.
What? A vineyard? Malaka.
It's on the road to Sami. He says wine will make him rich.
Well, I guess I owe Marcos a little visit. Thank you, Phoebe.
I'll go tell Marcos you're coming.
My head.
So, a new major mechanic added to the game is you have choices in what you can say. And so, some of your choices will have actual effects on the story, and some are major events in the story, some are minor events in the story. I'm not 100% on what all of them do, but I can explain ones that I do know. But here's something that's maybe it's a bit nitpicky, but it's kind of annoying. So you see these little icons here? So these icons will mean that something's going to happen because of that. But they don't explain to you on the spot what they mean. I mean, sure, you can find it in a hint, but it's like, guys, it's your new mechanic, so like, explain your stuff. So to explain it right quickly, the sword means you're going to attack. The scale means you're gonna lie. The heart means you're gonna flirt. That little C with like the arrow next to it, that means you're gonna like leave or exit the conversation. And there is one other icon. If it's a diamond with a plus in the middle of it, it means you're gonna accept the quest. With this decision, you will pick you're dead, which means you'll fight the two of them right now. But if you tell them to get out of here, then they'll come back later with more mooks with them, basically.
You made a mistake coming here.
So, you know, pick your poison, I guess. Oh. There we go. So, like I said, I don't know every single choice in the game and, like, what their outcome is, but I do know some of them. And another thing, just so y'all know, I am going for the best ending in the game. And so I'll explain what choices you need to make to achieve that. Well, I won't explain it, but like, you would just have to follow what I do. So let's see, let's put on our equipment. Okay. So as you can see, we have an icon there of where Marcos' house is, but if you look at the quest, we also see a description. He's in the southern part of Mount Inos, so if you were in exploration mode, what you would need to do is open up the map, zoom on in, and see that this province is called Mount Inos, and then you just have to go to the south here and then, like, you know, look for him. Like I said, you could do it if you want to. I've certainly played the game that way before, but for the sake of the playthrough and trying to keep things moving, we're gonna just keep it in quest mode, so like they just tell me where I need to go. But I think this is a good place to end it. So in this episode, we started off So, I was about to say Super Mario Odyssey, no joke. No, we started off Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and next episode we're going to be heading off to talk to Marcos. So I'll see you all then.